new sensor. Going with the old one up, got my safety prop in. Safety. Alright, I'll have you off here, mister. Hopefully it's the same size. Of course it's not. No, there we go. Hell, that was tighter than I expected. I should really clean it all off. Well, you're not even looking at what I'm doing, sorry. Yeah, I should really see how I put a plug on it there. Now I thought the new one would have the wiring all the way down to that plug here, this plug here, which was clean by the way the other day. So I thought that wiring would come all the way down here, all the way down here, all the way down here and into there, and I'd get a sensor with 2 pins on to install into that plug. But actually, where this weird joint was here, they must have chopped it out and spliced this 2-core wire in, which I don't think goes anywhere, so pretty tempted just to do away with it, we'll see. Anyway, some WD-40 for the threads on that old sensor. I gave up trying to take those nuts off there. They were, they went tight. Didn't clean the threads off enough. Anyway, with the kit you get the bracket, so 2 bolts and the bracket's off. Bracket is slightly different, as you can see. So I'll have to make sure I mount the hose there, rather than all the way up there like it was on that one. But we'll come to that. This needs to protrude 35 millimeters. It's not like that, I think. And I just need to put a Deutsch plug on. Have a look at this old one. See, we've got the black wire broken. Now we're not using the black wire, but that's like, if you wanted it, if you think of that as a switch normally open or normally closed, when you get the plate come past here, you can either have it signaling that it's down or use the other one and signal that it's normally open. Does that make sense? You've got 3 options. 2 options, not 3. Anyway, I'll install this. I will install it. That's the correct terminology, isn't it? Got a serrated bit there, which is to bite into the bracket. Right, this isn't a one-hander, and I should go and get my new fancy doodah, but can't be bothered. There we go, ready to install. I've put my plug on it. So yeah, if you didn't know, these are called Magic Eyes. Basically, it's a on-off switch, and there'll be a little bit of metal in there that basically, once the metal comes past here, like this, the magnet pulls a little bit of metal across, creates a circuit, disconnects it, on, off, and that's how the dumper knows that the skip is down. The reason why we need to know that the skip is down is because if you go charging about it, this will do just over 50k. You go charging about with that body raised and go around a nice tight corner, giving it the big Scandinavian slide. The thing will do a Scandinavian tip and it'll cowp over. Safety! Stop idiots doing idiotic things. Pop him on here then. I reckon it wants to be about... I'm not showing you again, look. I reckon it wants to be about there. It's going to be bad to judge because at the moment the machine's locked off. Maybe I should have done this with the skip down, but anyway. I'll put it there and I'll just quietly drop it down and make sure it ain't going to hit once I've got it unlocked. See what I can do. Where's my straight edge gone? Ruler. Let's use my ruler off the bracket, can't I, and see if it's going to hit. That's a good idea. Oh, it's going to be close. I think that might be a bit too close. I'll maybe shimmy it back away on the bolts. Nice job. All done. There it goes, Big Bertha, back to Earth. Second job of the day is over there. I'm at a dead end. I could see his dipper arm moving around, so I thought I'll drive to the other side of the valley here and he'll spot me. And it looks like he has, because he's heading towards his track to get out. I am so clever. So clever. I don't have the fella's phone number, you see. Now, I've had a look on the tracker. The machine is getting up towards 2,500 hours. The filters that are ready for changing would be a 500-hour service. So I think it is just a 500-hour service. But I'll chat to the driver, because I've got a feeling it's been over its services, if that makes sense, and it's due a late 2,000-hour service. We'll have a look at the air filters. That'll be a surefire tell, because it won't have had them changed yet. Here it comes. Okay, so it is just a 500-hour service. I've checked the air filter and it's clean, so, well, it looks like it's been replaced recently anyway. Hubs are draining. I'm just doing the fuel filter. Now, what everybody says, so anybody ever comes on the phone and they've got E157-18 error codes, I always tell them to check this filter head for blockages. And every other time folks say, well, the bowl's clear, which they mean by this, it's just got diesel in it, there's no sediment or anything in it. And sure enough, I've serviced this machine, everything's nice and clean in here. As you can see, I've not even wiped that out yet. But just before I put the new filter on, there's a few bits of grass sticking out from this red one here. When you service these and you take these water filters off, just have a look here, and there's a few bits of stuff. Anyway, that's what's came out of it. It doesn't look like much, but it's enough to block the port up just inside there. See, that's where it sits. Show you. There you go. And it is dead easy just to clean out. I did have a fella with a 225 and a harvesting head. Spoke to him last week and he was thinking of injector problems and high pressure fuel pump issues, and I said, well, just start from the very beginning. Is your filter head clean? Oh, well, I changed the filter, but the filter was clean. I said, but do you take any notice of that hand primer? No. And so that afternoon I sent him away with, what did I tell him to do? I told him to join them two pipes up there. If you didn't find anything wrong in here, join them two pipes up. So I give him a fitting to join the two pipes off to cancel out this. And anyway, he sent us a picture of all this muck that had came out of his filter head. Now I know every time I mention these filter heads, somebody says, well, put an inline filter in. But I don't know if that extra filter in the system will sort of reduce the fuel flow or what, I don't know. I don't want to introduce a load of extra restrictions and then go around the countryside taking those restrictions back out the system, if you know what I mean. So that's why I don't really do it. So yeah, anyway, I'll throw this all back together and I'll continue on. That's the service done. Talking away to the driver here, and we were talking about the infamous track guides, and I kicked this one and it was loose. So I've just gone down that far side. I'll go down the inside shortly, but I'm just tightening all the bolts up. None of them are off. The driver says, oh, I'm forever tightening them up, so I'll get a big bar on them and give them a good nip and just pray that I don't break one. So what have I done? I've just nipped all those guide bolts up. I'm doing it and I love it on stage. Love it. Don't stop cycling because I'll make this person go away. Right, start it up. I'm going to check my filters, and then I've got a software update for the screen to do. Oh good, it's running. Go and check my filters. do I need to do next? Get me USB thing. I'll reset the service clock. Well, remember, give it time to run before I switch it off. User menu, maintenance, expendables management. Yeah, see, it's 780 hours over. So we'll reset that. I think it'll have had an early 2000 hour and skipped to 1500 by the look of it. Engine oil. So everything's done that should be done, but it'll want 1000 hour servicing. 220 hours. There you go. Right, switch it off again. We're off. Hopefully I don't meet any timber wagons. Generally timber wagons aren't on at this time of day. They start early, finish early, don't they? And I don't mean that in a negative way. They have driving hours, don't they? They generally... There's a big timber mill at Carlisle, and generally when I'm going to work of a morning, the timber wagons have already been up into places like this and gathered up a load of logs, and they're coming into the timber mill at 8 o'clock. So I would imagine if they're starting at 4:30, they must be finishing at 4:30, 5, 6 o'clock, I would have thought. While I'm driving quietly through the woods, not getting punctures, I get asked a lot of questions on, predominantly it's on Instagram, and there's a lot of young lads that obviously watch my videos, and other folk as well that aren't necessarily in the trade, but I don't know whether it's my videos or a combination of my videos and other people's videos, and they like the look of plant fitting and want to get into it. And I often get asked, how do you get into plant mechanicking? Is there a qualification you need to do? I'm a car mechanic, do I need to go and do a plant mechanics course, etc, etc. And they sort of, I get asked the question quite regularly, how do you get into it? It's difficult for me to say, coming from a different background, how do you get into it, because I came to it straight out of school into an apprenticeship, and that apprenticeship got me my NVQ in plant maintenance. Having said that, and retrospectively looking back at what all I had to do to get the NVQ in plant maintenance, it doesn't necessarily mean you can do your NVQ level 3, get into a van and go and fix plant. It gives you the foundation to build off, but I would imagine if you're a car mechanic of 4 or 5 years, or a truck mechanic of similar, you'd be more qualified than I was when I finished my apprenticeship. Certainly. I mean, at the end of the day, these diggers, it's literally an engine running a hydraulic pump. We don't get that much bother with hydraulics. Now, I don't know if that's different for different manufacturers. Your key knowledge is engines and drivetrains, isn't it? For the most part. Electrical fault finding as well is an advantage. I would say your key skills would be general mechanics, so how an engine works, how after treatment especially works, and a good knowledge of electrical systems and fault finding. Then after that it'd be hydraulic troubleshooting, and I think you could do that on the job if you were honest enough to say, I can do this, this and this, but I'm not very good at this. I would imagine your employer would be more than happy to take you on with those skills and put you with somebody that has got the skills that you're lacking, and you can work with them for a year, 18 months, and you would pick it up, if that makes sense. But what I would do if I had 10 years experience on HGV, and I'd seen Ali's Digger Diary putting up nice pictures of diggers in the middle of nowhere and fixing them and putting a smiling face on things, and I thought, I want to do a bit of that, but I don't know much about diggers. I would put my CV into a load of plant hire, plant dealers, and put my CV into them looking for work, and I think you'd be surprised you'd get some offers. and I think you'd be all right. So I would just put my CV out there, even if folk aren't necessarily looking to employ, they're not advertising. I think it's the same in every trade. Getting lads is easy, getting lads with an interest is difficult, I would say would be the general theme, or getting lads that actually care. I mean, we took on a lad who was a digger driver and a tyre fitter. We took him on and he was to be in the workshop doing PDIs, and I'm sure it wasn't long before, a year, 18 months, he was out on the road in the van, and now I'm phoning him if I'm stuck with something. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't honestly think you need a NVQ in plant maintenance to get a job like this. I just think you need to be keen, willing to learn, have a bit of background, and just sort of have that can-do attitude. And if you're not sure about something, just ask. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Hopefully you all agree with that. Let me know in the comments, because obviously I've come into it from school, so some of you that might be watching this video, you might have done it the other way around. You might have been in plant and wanted to get into HGV, so put your thoughts down in the comments. It'd be really interesting to see, and it might help some lads out that are watching this video thinking, I want to do that, or I'm in plant at the minute, I'd prefer to work on trucks, or I'd prefer to go and work in a car garage or something. Put your thoughts and opinions down there. Right, I'm on the road now, so see you in the morning.